Hey guys, my name is Matsumo, and today I'm excited to say that it looks like we now know practically all the things that are going to be coming with this new DLC for Rainbow Six Siege with Operation White Noise. I gotta admit that I'm pretty impressed by what they've shown off so far. There's a few things that I'm a bit wary about, and we'll get to that here in a second, but in general, I like what they're doing with these new operators. They're really unique, they're very creative, and I think they're gonna definitely mix things up when we finally get our hands on them. And so first off, I wanted to talk about Zofia because she sounds like she has the potential to be incredible. Now, I might be overestimating things, you'll have to let me know down below in the comment section, but one thing that caught me by surprise is that we already knew that she was gonna have a double-barrel grenade launcher. One of them was going to allow you to use impact nades, and the other one was going to be a concussive nade. I then figured, okay, you're probably gonna get 2 of each of these, that seems reasonable, but apparently that's not good enough for Ubisoft. She is gonna have access to 2 of the impact nades to do whatever you want with them. You can take out barbed wire, you can open up holes, and then she's also gonna have access to 4 of these concussive mines, which will also bounce off walls. The cherry on top to these concussive nades is that they work much like Ella's, where if anyone's in the proximity of them, they will go off, or I think they're on a very long timer. So they also have that utility going for them. Now, all of that by itself, I think, would make for an incredible operator, but Ubisoft had to take it a step further, where Zofia, if she's placed in the down but not out stage, she can revive herself to 1 HP. Now, you are going to have to go through a lengthy process, so it's probably not going to happen very often. You do have to hold down a button for a couple of seconds, and then you have to go through the animation to get back on your feet. But if you're in a tight spot, you're across the map, your teammates are nowhere near you, you have the option to actually bring yourself up, basically back from the dead, and have a last stand to try to win the round for your team. On paper, she almost sounds like she's just flat out better than Ash. Now, we don't yet know how well her weapons are going to perform. Maybe her weapons are going to be lackluster. She's also 2 armor, 2 speed, so she still doesn't have that rushing potential that Ash does. But she has so much going for her. It also makes me question, why in the world would you ever want to play as Ying anymore? I know that Ying does see some action in the pro scene because she can flash an objective, smoke it out, and then get a plant off. She's really good in that aspect, but if you're just playing with a bunch of randoms, she doesn't see a lot of play. I don't know about you guys, but I hardly ever see her anymore because I think a lot of people just find her weapon and her gadget to be incredibly unreliable. I don't think Zofia is gonna have that problem, at least from what we've seen so far. And so all in all, while it might be a bit too early to tell, I have a suspicion that Zofia is going to be an incredibly powerful operator. She has a lot of utility as long as her weapons are halfway decent. I have a feeling that she is going to be a top competitive choice. The next offensive operator that we learned more about is Dou Cabbie. We already knew that her special ability would allow her to cause defender phones to make a noise which would give away their position. We now know that she's going to be able to do this twice around, and the cherry on top is that the defender has to go through a short animation to turn off their phone. And so as a defender, when this thing is going off, you have 2 different options. You can either let it ring, constantly giving away your position, but you know Dou Cabbie is about to round the corner on you. You hopefully can retaliate and take her down, or you can go through that animation, hope and pray that someone isn't about to round the corner, and turn it off. It's gonna have some really interesting interactions, kind of like the way that the Legion traps work right now. The other powerful ability that she's gonna have access to is that as soon as a defender is taken out, they're gonna drop their phone on the ground. She can then walk on over, hack the phone, which gives everyone on the offensive team access to the defender's cameras, including Valkyrie cameras. That is going to be a game changer. I mean, the gadget before that we just talked about is really good. I like that it's kind of a pseudo jackal. That sounds really interesting. But the fact that she can then hack into all of the cameras is really going to change things up. First of all, this is going to make Valkyrie a much riskier pick. I consider Valkyrie to be one of the best defenders that you can have simply because of her gadget, but if her gadget is now being used against you, it may not be as advantageous, especially if Dou Cabbie is very popular. You may not want to play as Valkyrie anymore. Now, it is worth noting that defense can still use these cameras, and so if offense isn't shooting out all the cameras on the map, you can still take advantage of them on defense. So it's kind of going to be this weird interaction. Which ones do I take out? Which ones do I keep up? Because if you keep up that Valkyrie camera, you might know that someone's in the room, but they also can use that same camera to see when you enter on in as well. well. The final mechanic revolving around her is that as a defender, if you see your teammate get taken out and you see the phone on the ground, you can shoot it and disable it. And so when she runs on over, she's no longer going to be able to hack that camera. So there is also going to be that dynamic. In general, though, she sounds like she's going to be a lot of fun. I was a bit skeptical about the whole hacking the camera mechanic because I figured that if they ever added someone like that, they would just be able to hack the system at the start of the round. But the fact that she actually has to take someone out and then risk hacking in or going towards their body to get that information, I think that's going to make for some very interesting gameplay. Moving on over to the only defender operator that we're getting this season, Vigil, he is going to have this special ability which will allow him to be completely invisible to drones. Now, it is on a cooldown, much like Cav's Silent Step, but if a drone enters into the room and you activate his ability, you will completely disappear in front of its eyes. Now, the caveat to this is that if the drone gets near Vigil while he's invisible, there will be an indication on your HUD that will let you know that Vigil is nearby. And so it's not like he's completely immune to drones now. If you go on in, you may not see him, but you will know that he is in the proximity. And so while it will still be really strong, I feel, it's not going to be as strong as I first thought it was. Another thing I found very interesting about his loadout is that he is going to have access to a very unique shotgun. Same with Dou Cabbie. So you're only going to have 2 shots before you have to reload, but those 2 shots are going to dish out a lot of damage. This kind of sounds like what the Super 90 was way back in the day. If you guys have been here for a really long time, there was a shotgun meta. Everyone was running around with the Super 90, Frost, Valkyrie. Everyone was using these weapons because they were incredibly powerful. Now, I don't want to spell doomsday because you only have 2 shots, and if you're missing your shots, of course, you're not going to do any damage. But from the quick little gameplay that we saw, this thing seems like it's going to dish out a lot of damage at some serious distances. This sounds like it's going to be a very deadly combo with Vigil's special ability. You walk into a room, you have no idea where he's located because of that stealth, and then he pops up really quickly with this incredible shotgun and takes you down in one blast and giving you no time to react. That could be very difficult to deal with. He does have some counters though, and that comes in the form of Thatcher and IQ. Thatcher, of course, will make it so that he goes out of stealth or he just simply can't activate his gadget. Or if you're playing as IQ, as soon as he does go invisible, she's going to be able to see him with her gadgets. It's hard to say how useful this will be in the long run. Everyone claims that when a new DLC releases, IQ is going to be the perfect choice to counter these operators, but as we all know, that doesn't really happen. It's nice to see that she is getting a buff, but I don't really think that this is going to be a game changer. We also finally got some information about what we could be expecting for the next year of content, the Year 3 DLC. There's going to be some changes. So we're still going to be getting 2 new operators each season, so 8 total, but instead of having 4 new maps, they're going to be dropping it down to 2. Now, one of the reasons why they're doing this is because of their data cap limit. They talked about this in the past. Apparently, they're reaching their data limit and they can only add so many maps to the game, and so that's one reason. But another reason is that they want to ensure that when new players jump on in, there isn't just an insane amount of maps to learn. We're already up to like 20, and they're feeling like that's kind of the sweet spot right now. They will be adding more, of course. We will be getting 2 with this new season. But one thing I found really interesting is that they're going to be reworking an old map. This has been something that I've been hoping for a very long time now. There's some maps in Siege that are phenomenal. There are some that, while fun, maybe not as competitive. And so it seems like their game plan is that they want to still continue to bring us new maps and content. We're going to be getting 2 of those, but then they want to go on in and improve the ones that we already have. Changing up some of the sites, maybe removing some walls, adding in some walls, or just completely changing the level to make it a more balanced experience. That is really exciting. And while I know that some people might not be thrilled by this news because if your favorite map gets changed, you may not like it anymore, I'm hopeful that they're able to take the knowledge and the problems that they've seen these maps have had over the years and improve upon them for the better. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. The final thing I wanted to mention is that it looks like those rumors about having some sort of zombie mode being added into Siege were confirmed. Now, it's not 100% confirmed, but they've already mentioned that there's going to be a co-op mode event that's going to be happening at the start of Year 3. It's called the Outbreak Events. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this. On the one hand, I think it's cool because they're experimenting with different things with Siege. I mean, if this is a timed event, I'm assuming more timed events will happen in the future, and I like that. That just will bring more diversity and hopefully more people to the game to enjoy it. On the other hand, they're spending time and resources on what sounds like some sort of zombie game mode, and I don't know if I like that as well. So this is gonna be a wait and see. I'm intrigued, I'm hopeful, but I don't really know until we see and have confirmation of some gameplay. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this reveal. Are you excited about the new operators? Which one are you looking forward to playing most? Let me know down below in the comment section. But yeah, guys, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.